Hi, this is Professor Favors with a DRW lecture on verbs. Be sure to review your core text, the pages in the syllabus for the core text fundamentals of college writing for more insight into verbs. Here is a quick lecture. So verbs defined. A verb is a part of speech, just as a noun is, and then a verb reflects an action. And pay attention to when a verb who is performing the action. When you are correcting your sentences, make sure that the subject is actually performing the action and whatever that action is. So we have different types of verbs. We have the categories main verbs or action verbs. We also have linking verbs, which is the form of which can be the form of be, which also can connect a subject to something going on in the sentence, and then they are not considered action verbs, however. And then we have helping verbs. So action verbs are do, go, write, walk, talk, believe, understand. That is the subject performing the action. The linking verbs are be, being, is, am, are, was, were, became, seem. In terms of it's something that is connecting one thing to another. So, for instance, she seems nice, right? But it's not considered a verb itself, an action verb. She's not necessarily performing the action. Susan seems nice is not Susan performing an action. It is functioning as a linking verb, uh, but it's not considered an action verb, and it is connecting Susan with some aspect of Susan. Then helping verbs may, must, should, could, would, will, and where. These are your helping verbs. So she uh, may be able to go to the store, right? She must go to the store. She should go to the store. She could go to the store. So these are your helping verbs. These verbs also are not only helping verbs, but they also can be considered modal and conditional verbs. And you'll learn a lot more about that later. But these are your three main categories of types of verbs. So let's look at sample sentences. So under action, linking, helping. So John walks to the store. John walked to the store. One is in the present tense. One is in the past tense. Also the sentence, the first sentence, John walks to the store, is in single. So the subject of the sentence is John, and that's a single subject. So then the verb is single, walks. Then linking verbs. John has been walking to the store for a few minutes. John had been walking to the store for an hour. John appears to be walking to the store. John seems to be walking to the store. So these are linking verbs here, right? Appears is not a verb, right? But it's in the verb position, but it's considered a linking verb, and it's connecting John to an action that he's doing, which is walking. And then helping verbs, John may walk to the store, John must walk to the store, John should walk to the store, John could walk to the store, John would walk to the store, John will walk to the store. All right, so these are your helping verbs. And then John could have been walking to the store this whole time. John should have been walking to the store this whole time. Many of these verbs go into further definition in terms of categories. So, for instance, present progressive, past progressive, present perfect progressive. There are a lot of different ways to further categorize these verbs. And I'm not quite sure that we have enough time to do that here, but just know that these are your three main categories with sample sentences. So your next steps, go ahead and log into eCampus, click the quizzes tab, and then you should be able to take the verbs quiz.